Hello, friends. Thank you for joining me today. And since the season of Lent is upon us, we thought we'd have a conversation about what this all means for us spiritually, and to have a wee chat about the subject of humility. And joining me from Medjugorje is my dear friend, Katty Hursted. Hello, Katty. How are you doing over there in Medjugorje?
Hi, Carol. I'm fine. The weather's getting better here. Spring
Yeah.
is in the air.
Yes, and this is a great time, Katty, for us, I guess, to spiritually reflect. It's my favorite time of year. Um, it's such a special time for us as Catholics, and indeed for Christians worldwide, and an important time for us, right, to look at what humility really means and what the Lord wants from us, right?
Yeah, I was really thinking this morning, Carol, that it takes a humble heart to change. A humble heart create for me, O Lord. Pride doesn't want to change. It thinks it's fine. And we're in spring now when everything is changing,
Yeah,
everything is growing,
yeah,
and we're meant to grow. But how does Our Lady want us to grow? She wants our heart to change. Our heart needs to change. The world we live in, we know, is not in a good state
yeah,
because people don't have a heart for God. They don't have a heart for love. They don't have a heart for change. So, this Lent, how are we going to change ourselves to become more humble? To, like, we often hear in Lent, what am I going to give up? But I just
yes,
think that that's not the right way to think about things. It's what am I going to do?
yeah,
Like, if I give up something, what am I going to replace it with? Um, what's going to help me? Isn't it about peace? Be a better person in my own home, with the people who are around me, with my neighbors. How am I going to get along better? What are
yeah.
people asking me to do? How am I, I need to face up to myself.
How
I
am
need
I
to
going to
change.
change? How am I
Yeah,
going to
people are
change?
asking me to change. How am I going to change? I need to face up to the things, not the things that I want to change, but the things that other people want me to change.
Yes, I think this could be a great time for self-reflection. How can I be a better person? How can I contribute to society in a better way? Like you say, it's not necessarily giving up things, but rather doing more.
Yeah,
Um,
facing up to ourselves, like, how can I be more peaceful in myself? What's lacking? What's causing me unrest? Is it I need to clean something? I need to tackle something? Face up to that. Let that be the first thing we do to
yes,
bring more peace to your own heart,
yes,
and then more peace to others. What do I need to do? What do I need to change so that others will be more peaceful in my home situation or neighborhood or whatever?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're the real things that God wants us to face up to.
And like we also in our behaviors, how we act out every day, we can choose to try to ignore those things that upset us. By all means, acknowledge them, but don't let them upset us. Um, you know, have a different attitude. Yes, have a
Yeah,
different attitude.
why are they upsetting us? It's
Yeah.
something to do with us that,
Yes.
we're stuck in our way, maybe. We're not open enough to let something else happen.
Mm-hmm.
The psalm today, Carl, was happy the man whom you teach, O Lord. You keep saying, are we a teachable person?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are we open to change? Our Lady says, Mitchell, open your heart,
Yeah.
She
And this is
wants, she, she wants to heal that wounded heart. There was a message for December, to heal the wounded heart. But you
yeah.
create those wounds sometimes in your own heart.
This is a wonderful thing, friends, about being a Christian is that we can learn so much. We can learn so much about ourselves. And Lent gives us that wonderful opportunity to become closer to the Lord and to spiritually evaluate our lives. And I think humility is a greater way to understanding ourselves better and becoming saints, because that's essentially what the Lord wants from us, is to become saints, right, Kathy?
Yeah, so wouldn't it be a lovely time to pray our rosary for the grace of humility, more humility because our weaknesses wound other people and those wounds wound Jesus. So we have to look at, the way we wound others or the way we're getting wounded ourselves, but that could be something to do with us as well that needs to change.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
the
yeah,
humility to discern all that and bring all that to prayer and to be open to the Holy Spirit, to show us our weaknesses and what's going to bring greater peace to my life. Because if there's more peace in my life, that's going to bring peace to others.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, I find that also it allows you, I should say, to demonstrate your love for God. It's not about what I can get from him, but rather demonstrating that we love him and love him dearly, right?
Yeah, exactly. So to grow in love, that's what we're trying, is to grow in love. Because if we love enough, we want to do the good. That's what it means to love, is to want the good. So to want the good, to listen to Our Lady, what she's asking us to do, to want the good for others, and then that takes humility. We've got to, you know, go lower so that God can go higher.
Yes, and it's also about simplifying our lives, removing the clutter, getting rid of the stuff that we don't want, because a lot of people today, materialism has taken over the world. People fill their lives with stuff. Whereas this time can give us an opportunity we are spiritual beings, to focus more on our spiritual life, get rid of the stuff that's not working, and focus more on the Lord.
Yeah, to get ourselves in order. Isn't that what we have to return to order?
Return to order, as in the divine will, Cathy. It's all
Exactly.
about re-establishing that order. And, how blessed we are, friends. I will say this, how blessed we are to be living in these times, to be given the gift of faith. And I remember going back to Easter, even when I was a child, I sensed the great sense of holiness in the air. Um, and again, this gives us an opportunity to witness our faith and witness that love that we have for the Lord.
Yeah, and changes in the will, Carol. It's our own will. We've got to give up our willfulness, and we've got to change it to want to live in peace with the people around us, greater
Yeah,
peace in the
yeah,
community.
yeah. So, Cathy, can you maybe, for your own life, give us an example maybe of how you help attain that humility? I mean, what are the things that you do to achieve this?
See, that's the great thing, Carol, is it's so each individual is unique.
Yeah,
So the things that I have to change are completely different to the things that other people have to change.
yeah,
Whatever is bringing unrest into your own soul, whatever you know you need to do, go and do it first. Say, I'm going to do that tomorrow. Face up to it. Put it first in line. Because every day you're feeling bad because, oh, maybe my kitchen isn't clean and I'd love to clean the cooker or the oven or something. Whatever is making you feel bad, whatever it is, clear that up. You know what I mean? Face up to it. Do it.
yeah,
Get it
yeah.
out of the way.
If you need to
Instead
say
of doing all
sorry,
the other,
yeah.
instead of doing all the other stuff.
If you need
Face
to
up
say,
to it.
yeah, if you need to say sorry to somebody, say it now. Don't delay. You
Exactly,
know,
whatever's on your heart and it
yeah,
annoys you when you go to mass every day. If something's on your mind that you're not at peace with that person, or it's taking away your peace. So do whatever you can do. Pray for that person. If you can't speak to them, pray for the person. Whatever you can do to bring a greater peace into your own heart,
yeah,
because that's going to affect others.
yeah, yeah. So,
But
friends,
it's so individualistic. You know what I mean? Everybody is going to have a unique situation. Everybody has to face up to their own life of what they need to do.
yeah, yeah. So, friends, we just wanted to, I guess, just come on and have a quick conversation about, humility going into Lent, being more mindful of ourselves, loving God more, praying more. Again, you probably know the areas in your life that you need to address. It's not just about giving up things, as Kathy says, it's about participating in acting on stuff and
Changing.
changing because we do, I guess we're all learning every day. And as I said, it's wonderful I love my faith and being a Catholic because I'm learning so much all the time. I'm learning so much about myself, but particularly this time of Lent gives us such an opportunity to get closer to the Lord and to go deeper in our faith. So, anything you want to say before we close, Kathy, on this brief message?
No, just to keep it a spiritual Lent. It's not about physical things or doing so. It's more spiritual. Praying for the grace, praying for the grace that your will can change. Jesus wants us to change. He wants to teach us. He wants to purify us. He wants to make our lives better. Sometimes that's painful. comes through the cross, but ask him, ask him for the purification, because that's going to lift us up to a better life, and a better life for the people around us as well.
Okay, so friends, so as you embrace Lent, we want to encourage you to enjoy it. Um, Try and be as humble as you possibly can and embrace the Lord. Okay, and Kathy, thank you for joining me today for this brief message. Okay, friends, thank you for joining me, and bye-bye for now.
Thanks, Carol.